What is up, my friends? As promised, we are back with a news roundup to finish up our matchday content here on Anfield Agenda. We're going to tell you exactly how animated Arne Slot got at half-time. Words from Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah will leave you in no doubt that the manager did get stuck into the boys. We're then going to look towards the fight between Liverpool and Arsenal for the striker that both clubs want. Is that Benjamin Sesko? Is that Alexander Isak? Well, we'll let you know in a few minutes. That and a couple of other interesting bits and pieces. And as always, we do want to know your thoughts on all the subjects that we speak about. Let us know in the comments section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And of course, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. A little bit of sad news though to start off the video tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not Liverpool Football Club related, but we are one big football family. And FC Barcelona have released an official statement as to why their game against Osasuna was postponed this evening. And I'm going to read it out to you in its entirety. FC Barcelona is deeply saddened to announce the passing of first-team doctor Carles Monaro Garcia this evening. For this reason, the match between FC Barcelona and Osasuna has been postponed to a later date. The FC Barcelona Board of Directors and all staff extend our heartfelt condolences to his family and friends during this difficult time. I think you'll all agree that was the correct decision. You couldn't expect the players to go out there and play when something like that has happened. And from all of us, and I know I speak for the entire football family, we send our love and best wishes to Barcelona, its fans, and of course the family of the club doctor that passed away. Sad news to start off this evening, but it is something that we wanted to bring to your attention in case you were looking to tune into that game or wondering what went on. Right, ladies and gents, let's get into Trent Alexander-Arnold speaking about Arne Slot being really animated at half-time. This is what Trent had to say. Probably the most we've seen him so far. I guess it's a good thing he's not been animated so far, but I think rightfully so. We weren't good enough, deserved to be down, but came out in the second half with a point to prove. And they did. You could see the difference as soon as we came out after the halftime break. The changes, yes, they made a difference as well, but the attitude from the players was much, much better. And Mohamed Salah, well, he's had his little bit to say in what the gaffer done at halftime as well. He said it was a bit of frustration. His head was going for us, so I think he means that the manager was losing his head instead of the players losing it. We were sloppy and slow in the first half. I don't think we played good today. If you want to win the Champions League or the Premier League, you have to win these games like that. And to be fair to the boys, they did turn it around and they did win the game and they won it comfortably in the end, but certainly was a much improved second half performance from all of them than the first half. Trent was speaking as well about Mohamed Salah, and he said fair play to him. Obviously, he's got the trust of the players, the manager and the staff to take the penalties. He's a game winner for us. He's got a positive mentality. He believes in himself. He's got the technique and composure to put them away. And look, Mohamed Salah's penalties of late, the last four that I can remember anyway, absolutely top notch. And today, under pressure, stepped up once again and dispatched both of them. So, he also moved level, as I'm sure you're aware, with Sergio Aguero on 184 Premier League goals, moving him to fourth, I think, on the all-time list. He said, I knew about the record, but I didn't think about it while I was playing. It's a good record to be equalising. Sergio was a great player. He was a legend here for the league, so I'm happy about that, and I'm happy about the win. And we've no doubt, of course, that Mohamed Salah will go on to, well, blitz where Sergio Aguero left off, but he is right. Aguero was a top player, and Mohamed Salah as a winger to be right up there as well speaks to, well, the great man's longevity. So we've tickled you enough now. Let's get to the big news. The news today about the battle for two strikers in particular, and it looks like Liverpool and Arsenal are going to go head to head. Which one would you prefer though? Let me know in the comments. So firstly, Fabrizio Romano has said Liverpool and Arsenal will both try to sign Alexander Isak. Newcastle will push to keep him. Now, for me, if Newcastle don't get Champions League football, there's every chance Isak may look for a move away. And Newcastle, well, they may need to free up some funds. So that's one aspect of this. But if it comes down to a battle between the two, I'm intrigued to see what you guys think would be the best fit for Liverpool and the best fit for Arsenal. So I would very happily take Isak at Liverpool, and I'm sure you guys would as well. I have my own thoughts on the price tag around the player. I think it's way too high at £150 million. And again, I don't think Arsenal would be willing to pay that much. But I'd rather we got him than Arsenal personally. But I also like Benjamin Sesko, and we're going to move on to talk about him in a minute. But for now, if you had to put one of these guys into Liverpool's team and one into Arsenal's team, Which one do you think is the better fit for each side? Of course, we haven't forgotten about Matheus Cunha as well, but today the news is more focused around Benjamin Sesko and, of course, Alexander Isak. So we know what Newcastle are asking for Isak. I personally don't think that there's value in £150 million, and I'd be shocked if Liverpool or Arsenal paid it. But let me know your thoughts. Now, Benjamin Sesko. So we know he has a release clause. We know that release clause is active this summer. And to be fair, we've seen him far more linked to Arsenal than we have to Liverpool. But today, well, that has changed a little bit. From Dean Jones, who I believe is an ESPN pundit and journalist. We're going to talk about the valuation in a second, but I've long been an admirer of Sesko. I'm sure maybe you guys have as well. Arsenal are the club that have been much more strongly linked with him, and certainly I think they tried to sign him in previous windows. This summer, he will be available. The release clause is, well, it depends on how he does at Leipzig, how many goals he gets, how many assists he gets, and I think where they finish in the league. But top price is about €80 million, or about, 67, 68 million pounds. So a lot less than the £150 million that Newcastle will be asking for Isak. And asking is one thing, but at least with Sesko or Cunha, you know that there's a release clause that you can pay, and it removes having to negotiate really with the club, unless of course you want to structure those payments. But this piece here from Dean Jones Soccer for ESPN said, Liverpool are genuinely interested in Benjamin Sesko, 21 years of age, as part of any overhaul. Liverpool position in the race could give them an edge over Arsenal, especially with the influence of Jurgen Klopp and his new role as global head of soccer at Red Bull. And don't underplay that one, because I'm sure we're going to see Jurgen over to celebrate Premier League title or league title number 20. We know that. He said it himself. So again, this could give Liverpool the edge. And I think if you're talking about value, well, you have a 21-year-old there who isn't as injury prone, let's say, as Isak. Isn't Premier League tried and tested, but is a really, really good player. And I've got to say, I would probably go with Sesko or Cunha over Isak because of the price, and because I think we need to invest money in other areas of the pitch, left back, centre back. So for me, I would edge towards Sesko or Cunha, unless Newcastle come down massively on the price that they're asking for Alexander Isak, if indeed they are going to. Now, there's another name or two we haven't mentioned here, and that's Hugo Ekitike for one. I know a lot of you guys in the chat are very fond of him. But let me know, do you think Jurgen will lean on his relationship here? And if they are going to lose Sesko, maybe guide him in the direction of Anfield over the Emirates? I'd be very interested to know your thoughts. And Arsenal fans, of course, if you're watching as well, I'd be interested to know what you guys think of this whole situation and who you think would be a better fit for each club. Now, this is part one of a two-part news video that I'm going to be recording. The other part, we're going to be focusing on the left-back situation. I'm going to record that tonight, but we're going to hold it back for tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for that one dropping as well. I'm going to go to record it now. But let me know your thoughts on the Benjamin Sesko situation, Alexander Isak, and of course, any praise that you have for the great man Mohamed Salah, moving level with Sergio Aguero with all of those delicious Premier League goals. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.